everyone. I just got done grading the homework and I noted a lot of people were having difficulties with 6.6a, so I wanted to set up this little video kind of tutorial to go over that question with you. Question 6.6a, kind of a curveball. I just wanted to see how critically you could think and how outside the box you could think. I was happy to see so many people attempt the question. All the information is given. You kind of have to look in a couple different sources throughout the other questions. So I was seeing how you could pull all the information in to kind of get through this calculation. So we'll go ahead and set it up here. What I've done is I went to page 226 in the text, and I've copied over the information that is right above question 6.3. That's this information right here to work to start to solve 6.6. So we'll go ahead and look at it. We have three different cost drivers, and 6.6 will refer you back up to question 6.4. So you need to be pulling information from 6.4 and 6.3, but you don't necessarily have had to complete those problems to do question 6.6. In 6.3 and 6.4, we have three cost drivers. We have general administration, facilities, and financial services are our three buckets that we've created. What 6.6 is asking us to do is keep general administration and facilities as they are, but now we're going to look at two different cost pools and drivers for financial services in terms of billing and in terms of payroll. So when we go to start setting up our calculations, general administration will stay the same. So we have 20,000, and I got the information again from the information listed right above question 6.3. So we have 2 million in costs for general administration. But if you refer back up to 6.4, now we're going to use salary dollars as the cost driver for general administration. So all I've done here, went ahead and set up my calculation. You can see here, but I typed it out here so you could also see that view. We took 2 million, which is this number right here, and all I did, I'll set it up over here again for you. I took this number, the total cost for general administration, and divided it by the salary dollars. So come down to the total salary dollars, 30 million, and that's going to get you 0.066 cents per salary dollar. So that's going to be our allocation rate. We're going to do the same for facilities. So again, refer back up to right above question 6.3. It's going to give us 5 million for facilities, and we're going to divide that by our labor hours. So come down to your labor hours, 220,000. It's going to give us 22.72 per labor hour. Now this is where it may have got a little tricky for some of you, so I'll go over this in a little bit more detail. So the question reads, however, assume that 2 million of the financial cost is related to billing and managerial reporting. So let's stop there and start solving that first half of the problem, and then we'll move on to the second. So we're saying we have $2 million that's related to costs for financial services for billing. And now our cost driver is going to be our patient service revenue. And how I came to that is because if you're looking at it and we're looking at billing and we have our categories of patient service revenue, square feet, labor hours, and salary dollars, the one that makes the most sense would be patient service revenue, since we're talking about billing and the amount of money that we're collecting from patients. So what we're going to do, same setup here, we'll take the 2 million divided by our total patient service revenue billing, and we're going to get our allocation rate of 0.04. Again, this is the same information I have here. I'm just showing you how I set up the formulas. Now let's read the second half of that question. It goes on to state that $1 million is related to payroll and personnel management. So again, that's where I got this $1 million. We'll go ahead and stick that in there and divide that by. Now we have to determine what we're going to use as the denominator for this. So if you think about payroll and you think about personnel management, you look at our categories in terms of patient service revenue, square feet, labor hours, and salary dollars, the one that would make most sense to use here would be salary dollars, since we're talking about payroll and personnel management. So we'll go down, grab the total amount for salary dollars, put that in and we'll get 0.033 for our salary dollar allocation rate. Now, what do you do with the information from here? So, like I said, I've got the information out of the text just transposed right here. I've went ahead and set up my allocation table and how that's going to look. I've got my general support department here with 0.07. I just rounded up from 0.06667 to 0.07. Facilities at 2273, again, just rounded up. Financial services billing at 0.04. Sorry, need to put that in there. And then we've got payroll, which is going to be 0.033. So we've got our allocation rates in. Let me fix that real quick. We've got our allocation rates in and how everything looks. So now it's time to start filling out our allocation table. So let's start with routine and just work from here. So general, we said, is going to be our salary dollars. Remember how we calculated it up here. So we're just going to do salary dollars, and you can do equals. You can type the numbers in. I like to just click on the cell. It makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to go up and grab my calculation rate. I'm going to multiply that by the amount showing in the salary dollars, which is a little over 12 million. I'm going to get 800,000. Now you can continue that on through the rest of the calculations across. One little trick you can do, if you'll put dollar signs in, it'll make that calculation stay for that particular cell. So you can just go ahead and drag it across. Now you will have to just go in and change each one of these because they'll need to correspond, so you can change that to F15. See how that jumped down to 5 million. Then you can tab over, change this to F16, and then you can change this to F17. And over here you can go ahead and put in the sum of these column or these rows here, and that'll give you your total for general. And again, just a quick gut check. This number should equal the number that you're allocating. So we are right on track with $2 million. And again, you can continue that on down. Let's go ahead and do one of the financial services ones. So the question was asking, what would the allocation rate or table look like if we were to split financial services apart? So let's take billing and reporting. We have 0.04. We said for that, we're going to use patient service revenue. So under routine care, which is the first department we're looking at, we have routine, ICU, diagnostic, and other. And you can see how I have them set up here on the table. We'll go under patient service revenue for routine care, and we'll get $1.2 million. Again, you can carry that on across. And then for financial services payroll, let's take a look at that one. We'll go grab our allocation rate, and we'll multiply that by our salary dollar, which is what we said we're going to use. So routine, we'll take 12 million. You get 400,000. Now I went ahead and completed the table on down here so that you can kind of, let me delete some of these cells out real quick. So you can kind of see how the rest of the table should be set up. And again, this is a great way to use Excel to kind of make the calculations a little easier on you. If you have any questions regarding 6.6a, I hope this was beneficial in explaining kind of the thought behind the question. I know I had a lot of questions about, there was confusion about what the question in particular was asking. But if you have any further questions, please feel free to call, email, stop by anytime, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you.